and welcome back to another episode of the Soul and Grace podcast. I'm your host, Danielle, and first of all, how are y'all doing today? Good? Hopefully good. I'm doing just fine. As you can see, I got the natural lighting thing going on today because it's so nice out today, and I don't know. I had this schedule figured out, baby. I'm gonna be able to stick to my weekly stuff, but as far as like the schedule I set up just to work with my life schedule, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be existing, but we here. Like the new mic set up. One thing about it, and that's probably the problem, I'm such a perfectionist. I don't know. I'm such a perfectionist that, look, I can't even stop looking at myself, but I'm such a perfectionist, and I really just wanted to, have this. Can't seem to figure out the damn chair situation yet, but that's okay. It's on the way. It's on the way. But yeah, welcome back to another episode, another week. I hope you're having a great week. Hopefully you've been speaking your mind and setting those boundaries and just living life. Y'all just living life, because I'm telling you right now, you only get one of those to live. So hopefully that's what you guys are doing. What's been up with y'all lately? Besides like trying to stay positive and alive, child, not obsessed, de-influenced. How are you doing? Because let me tell you about me. First of all, my sister just left town, which was really, really nice. It's really always, I don't know, like I shared in the last episode, sometimes it's a little overwhelming when family come in, but honestly, if my son is distracted, it's amazing. It's an amazing trip, and he mostly was. Does that mean I got a lot done? No, but we had fun. Probably not as much fun as she be having because she childless and everything, but I enjoy just having family, seeing family, because I think I've mentioned that my family is in Texas. It's in Texas. We don't sound like that, but they're in Texas and I'm in Colorado. So like I see them every now and again. When I first moved out here, I used to fly out there a lot. Like I would stop back home in Dallas and see them either before or after, like before or after I left LA for work or whatever, or when I would be flying here, actually. We're just in between, but so I would see them more often. But when I had my kid, like he's been flying since he was 4 months old, but it just kind of slowed down because it's not just like I get to hop up and just be everywhere anymore, which is fine. I'm not complaining, but I got to make sure we're packed. I just got to make sure way too much stuff. So I'm just always happy for anyone to come see me and not be too much of a headache, and we have fun. We did go out a little bit, had some, I can't remember what, like if we went out a couple of places. I personally can cook, so I really don't be minding to cook or whatever. I got to go out and do some solo stuff, just shit you do. People, if you have kids and you got trustworthy family to watch them, you know what I mean. When they come in town, it's just a great thing. But I enjoy her company. We went to the hot springs, and honestly, I don't really know much about like where you can find hot springs, but definitely research them and figure out if there's some in your state or near you, because that's so relaxing. And we went up to the hot springs. I'm going to put up a vlog. The YouTube is up. I repeat, the YouTube is up. Last week's episode, or the last episode is I didn't really like my angle on the video. I'm not gonna hold you. Didn't like my video on the angle of the video, so I might not post that. I keep just trying to think of different ways to not have my fear of being seen hold me back. But if I don't really like the picture or something, I'm not posting that shit. I'm not gonna post it. So but that episode is up, but the YouTube is up. YouTube is at Soul and Grace. I believe it was available for me to put up there because the reason why my at name is at Soul plus Grace is because Soul and Grace is taken by people that don't even be using the damn handle, or like they don't use the pages, the nothing, the domain. When I find you, your ass is Grace. Because anyways, let's not deflect. So yeah, it's just been good catching back up. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm one of those people that, like, I'll tell you, especially with motherhood, especially being a doula, just being me, I'm just winging it. I'm winging it in my style, my version of life. As far as, like, I have a process, I have a routine, but I'm also very flexible because I've just realized in life, you just got to be a little bit more flexible than what you really expect, unless you have certain things in place. And I'm still trying to get certain things in place. So yeah, I'm pretty flexible with life. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing in life that's constant is change, and shit changes a lot. Shit changes a lot. So yeah, I'm just thriving in that change. Swimming in that change. Really just soaking in the sun. Just soaking in the sun with this great protected layer of sunscreen that's not burning me up, because I'm just going with life's ebbs and flows. Y'all, I think I warned y'all in the first episode. I'm a little throwed a little bit, but I'm a good person. I really am. But anywho, let's go ahead and hop into the show. This week's got to have it. This week's got to have it. It's not a major thing. It is simply peace. That's it. Peace. Now, you're probably wondering, why just peace? Because as I just said, I am really great I'm getting better at understanding that life just has so many ebbs and flows. It just has so many ebbs and flows. So just the peace and understanding that, really peace and patience, because more than anything, I'm just practicing, like, having the patience with myself and my expectations, and just being way more realistic, because y'all not being for real. Y'all not telling the truth, but I'm gonna tell it. So yeah, peace and patience, just because, hey, things change. Like I said, my sister just left, so it's like, how much did I actually get done that I said I was gonna get done when she was gonna be here? Maybe 30% of it, and that's okay. It happens. It really just happens, and it takes time. There's other things that have been, or just one other thing that's been taking place. So I've been having to that sound bad. I've been having to have my son more. Not that I've been having to have him more, but I've had him multiple days in a row. And again, I probably don't even go into that, but just the patience of understanding, like, that's okay. First of all, I'm a hell of a good mom. Let me pat myself on the back and the side of the mic. Hell of a good mom, just because, yeah, he's happy. And that's the most important thing. Your kid is happy. We're close. We have a great relationship. But peace and patience, that's this week's gotta have it. Now, in the beginning, I do just want to say, like, there's so many things that I needed to share, or a few items that I needed to share for the Gotta Habits from the previous episodes, and I'm working on having that posted on the site. Bear with your girl. I ain't forgot, because at first, initially, I was just thinking, oh, I'd be on Instagram, but I am not on Instagram. I'm not fucking with that right now, as I explained in the last episode. But until then, I'm just going to be updating the website, and maybe I never even considered doing an episode or like a little thing on, what do you call it, a damn post on TikTok about that, because I really could. And there's a lot of good products from the previous episodes that probably people on TikTok, I really don't even see them share it, honestly. Maybe some of the stress stuff, but yeah, I'm working on it. But yeah, that's this week's Gotta Have It, peace and patience. So now let's get into my favorite part of the goddamn show, soul search. Searching. Yeah, I do got that. I got that. Roy Ayers could have been one of my baby daddies in the 70s, honey. Big hair, don't care. I love big hair. I really do. But I'm like 3 seconds away from cutting my hair off. I shaved my hair off in 2020. And I mean, like, I shaved it off. Now, this next time, I'm not really thinking about shaving it off. I'm more so thinking that I will just cut it really short, like short. Now, I don't know about a perm right now, because they got all those lawsuits about, with all the perm companies and all of that. But maybe a little texturizer or something, shouldn't hurt nobody. I don't know, because I still don't know what none of that stuff is. My mom has done hair my whole entire life, and I don't know what lye is. Anywho, on to soul search. Now, as we dive into soul search this week, as you see in the title, get my handy dandy iPad. As you see in the title, we are talking, or better yet, my question for you is, when's the last time you did something for the first time? I'll wait. She will wait. Because I know for some of my listeners and future listeners, it's been a little minute. That's okay. That is completely okay. Oh, my ring just flew off. I don't got time to pick that up. When's the last time you did something for the first time? When have you been? Have you even been supporting twin, which is you? Twin is you. Yeah, twin is you. Because, you got a dark, maybe let's not refer to it as a dark side, but like your other side, the inside, your soul is your twin. Wow. Your soul is twin. So the last time, and what's crazy about that song is, maybe I never even listened to the whole song. I just know the chorus from TikTok, and my sister kept singing it, because yeah. But nonetheless, your soul is your twin. So twin, where have you been? Because nobody loves you like you do. Nobody gon' love you like you do, okay? You can't even deny it. Every time you try it, life gonna keep whooping that behind. Cause you lying. Body to body, skin to skin. Baby, nobody gonna love you like you. That's my remix right there. The Danny mix, okay? But yeah, when the fuck was the last time? For me, mm, I just can't think about it right now. Let me just say that. I just can't think about it right now, but I don't know. I'm gonna just say something I did while my sister was here, because it's definitely not something I would do. That shit is not aligned with my. Is it aligned with twin? In a way, yes. Is it aligned with my health? No, or my expectations, but it's definitely worth trying. We tried out this like a place I saw from TikTok. Baby, I don't be doing that. My friends grown. I don't. Now we all on TikTok, but I'll be afraid to just even. Maybe not even afraid, but I don't know. Me and Jaden did some stuff. We'll see, but it's like, local stuff. It's never really like I'm going to go try something. Now restaurants. We're not gonna consider that, because yes, you can feed yourself. Food do make us happy. Food do be making you happy, but something else, maybe a hobby, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because I like to think like, we'll get into that. But when the last time you did something for the first time? For me, I went to this like croissant. Now you gotta say it like the French croissant. We went to this croissant spot, and I think it's called Parlor Donuts, but it's not really donuts. It's deep fried croissants. And they got like just a whole bunch of varieties that are so fire. And they also had like breakfast and like lunch little stuff. So I tried that as well, but that is not aligned with who I'm trying to be. But I had to try that. One won't hurt nobody. I left out of there with a 4-pack, but I didn't eat all of them. But it was cool. It was really good. And that was like maybe the more recent thing. And before that, it's definitely been my bass, learning to play bass, which was something I decided probably a week before Christmas, because it was an early Christmas gift. And yeah, I don't know nothing about a bass. When I was in elementary school, I played clarinet for 6th grade for a year. And I was good at that goddamn clarinet, okay? I love that clarinet. My mom worked so fucking hard to give me that damn clarinet. Now I look up them things, 30. You can get them real cheap on Amazon, because I considered getting one, because maybe I haven't held one in decades. In a decade at this point. But maybe there's like some muscle memory there, and it'll just come back. And anyways, I got a bass because can't you see me as a bass player? A sexy little bass player. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me, but if you're not, then you can hear me. And I got a little la 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 voice, but I can see myself with the bass. I got some TikToks coming with that to show like my little journey. So if you want to follow me there, you will. Or maybe I'll play y'all a little tune on the podcast. That might be taking me too far. Send some requests. Future listeners, send your requests when you get here. But that was the other more recent thing that I can think of off the top of my head right now. Again, never have I ever. I don't even know anyone that plays bass. My partner has played guitar or something at some point in his young life, but outside of that, I don't know it. I don't know anyone, and it's just something I just want to try to stick with. And outside of my art bag and everything else I'm creative in. Goddamn, I just wanted to try something else. But when's the last time you did something for the first time? And if you can think of something, great. If you can't think of something, I would advise you to think really, really hard and then ask yourself why. Y'all know how I always talk about having the awareness of things. Ask yourself why you haven't done anything in a long time for the first time. And you're probably wondering, what are you going to do with that answer? Because the answer is why you didn't do it to begin with, why it's never crossed your mind. But I asked you to ask yourself that because a lot of times we don't have the answer to why we haven't done it. You have some excuses, but then when you really think about it and lay all of those excuses out, you may just find that there's no reason that you shouldn't be doing anything for the first time. Even in the sense, if you ever think about it being monetary, let me put you on game real quick. Because besides, I just don't want to just blatantly say like, oh, you ain't living right. And some assholes, I'm just going to call them that, assholes do that. That's the response. I find that most people, once you ask them that, no. The one question that will set this conversation off for self, the conversation within self is, what do I even like to do? So many of us don't even know what we like to do. And remember last week how I said, some of us know more about what our partner likes and loves or wants to do, or whoever we're chasing, we know, or whoever we're trying to make happy in our lives. Like, we know what they like to do. We know what they like. We know what they love. We know what they hate. We know what they will be mad about us. Like, we know everything else about anything that is not ourselves. We're not doing that anymore. We're not moving like that in life anymore. So if you answered both of those questions and they both landed you in a place of like, I don't even know what I like to do, reel it in, because y'all can't see it if you're not watching the video, but reel it in, please reel it in to self. And you need to get connected with twin. You need to. You need to. It makes no sense that you are not, but I know why you are not, because we spend so much time trying to make everything else and everyone else around us happy. So I found an article. I found many articles, many articles, and honestly, I will probably tag my top 3 articles in the suggestion box or in the bio box, whatever the information box at the bottom of the video. I'm going to put it there. So, I found this article on Forbes.com. And it is about trying new things. The article is titled "Stop, Reflect, and Try New Things." We don't care about none of that. This is actually from 2014. And apparently what do you call it? It says contributor. It doesn't even say editor or author. I don't speak this, so I just want to be clear on that for somebody try to correct me on that. But I thought like most articles say author, written by, something like that. But it's just wrote about professionals experiencing like being overworked and overwhelmed and how to tackle that issue head on. And then they go on to speak about the key to being less overwhelmed is being more mindful. We've talked about this. Soul versus ego, fucking friends, dabs, all of that. We've talked about these things. And that's why so many topics, like season 1 of Soul and Grace podcast is going to be over after I drop this last episode of, I think I have 2 more, but the next episode will be about me, and then we'll move on to season 2. But because there's only so much advice or whatever to give, or so much information before, like, you finally just hit the wall and you think, oh shit, I just need to go work on me. I hate that so many people, some never even realize that they spend millions of dollars chasing it. The answer lies within. It's that simple. It lies within. But nonetheless, they continue to talk about mindfulness and just these things. But I wanted to dig into why doing shit for the first time is so important. So, I just want to boom, because it's a decent paragraph, but I don't want to read it all. That's why I put the links there for you guys to go read these things. Last year's study found that something as simple as listening to new music increases mental acuity. New songs cause the brain to learn and predict, which gets new neurons firing. Neurons are the connections in your brain, okay? So, all top, there's science behind it. And this article is from 2014. 2014. That's really not that long ago, but another thing that even with my own or on my own journey in this is I recognize how much no one ever talks about this shit. Not even your parents, the school, nobody, maybe a therapist or somebody, maybe, but mostly no one talks about these things. So what else can you do? You can't really know these things. I'm not sure what class you would take for this, sociology, I don't know. But to continue the article, this is of the broader idea that to continue growth, we need to tackle new challenges. Now, I'm not completely saying go find a new challenge. That's cool. I do know some of us work better that way, but that's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying go find something fun or do whatever fun. Do something fun that makes you feel good, or however it makes you feel, but a positive emotion, of course. Conversely, the more success we have, the less likely we are to try new things or to take risk, which is almost like comfort, basically, to me when I read that. Just with anything, once you learn it, when you're in the beginning phases of learning something new, it's you doubt yourself, you question it, you get a little scared, but then you become comfortable, you love it, it becomes a part of your routine, and you just grow to love something new, and it continues to make you feel good. And then you stop chasing shit. And that's what the article goes on to say. This is one reason we stay on the hamster wheel, even when it's overwhelming. The success we've earned causes our minds to become locked on what has worked for us so far. As the Zen masters Suzuki Roshi using my studio mic, you guys are gonna hear me in the mic, and sometimes I try so hard not to laugh. And in the video, I just really try to cut that shit out. But that sounded so bad when I said it. But Suzuki Roshi put it, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. Is there more to that, Master? In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. I got it. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. If you've ever been good at anything in your damn life, if you've ever been good at anything in your damn life, you probably got this right off the back, but maybe because I'm reading it and I'm reading to the camera, like, you know. But in my mind, as a beginner, like, you are thinking of how many ways this shit can go left. And as an expert, you're thinking there's not like another option. This is the best it's gonna get sometime. This is the highest I could go. Why would I try anything? Wow. Mind blown for me. Maybe not for other people, but for me. So, according to a behavioral therapist named Andrea Kozlowski, I could say that one, Kozlowski, because Mike Kozlowski. This is what's going on when we learn something new. When you seek novelty, several things are going on. First of all, you are creating new synaptic connections with every new activity you engage in. These connections build on each other, increasing your neural activity, creating more connections to build on other connections. Learning is taking place. So you're rewiring your mind, or not rewiring, just creating new wires. And we love that. Keep exercising your brain always. I guess that's something else to note while we're talking about this. Just like, being healthy is not just a physical thing on the outside, or just about the organs that are everywhere else but up here in your head, because your brain needs so much exercise and it needs to be worked. So not only do you do this by going to school and having teachers, tutors and shit, or parents or whoever, you do it by physically acting on things. And yeah, I don't know. Expand your mind. Literally create new connections in your mind. So go create some new connections in your mind. But again, I will have the link to this in the description box, the bio box, whatever that little box is under about this episode, and because it's really good. And again, there was like a Psychology Today article I'm definitely gonna add into the box, because these are really good articles. And I think the Psychology Today one either was from 2010 or it might have been from 2022. Damn. 2024, we're already in 2024. I'm never letting that go. I'm never letting that go. But definitely check out the article. We are not done. But we are done with this part of the show, because the next part of the show, we're going to talk about how to make sure that we are trying new things, or how not to fear trying new things. How can you just move in mindfulness as you have had the after you've had the awareness that you need something new to do. Point blank, period. And it's time. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into Queen. So as we walk into the end of the show, Queen, one thing that I just don't want to neglect when we talk about this, or just this topic of conversation, is that do not downplay awareness. Sometimes we get so afraid of our intuition, our awareness, our discernment. That shit scares the fuck out of us. Excuse my language, but it scares the fuck out of us sometimes. That's just the truth. But the thing about it, the 3 A's, awareness, acknowledgement, and address it. And to me, address it is the same thing as heal it, work on it, pray on it, whatever. The 3 A's, have the awareness, acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge it. A lot of times after we acknowledge it, we're like, flag on the play. I don't want nothing else to do with this. Fuck it. I'm going that way. Not this way. That way. And we're not going that way. We're trying to go this way. We're trying to go this way. We're not trying to go this way. Not down here. Up. Higher if you with me. But up. We're going up. That's the only way up. So, as we walk into Queen, let's discuss a few things that Forbes believes, or this author, contributor, whatever the fuck you are. The contributor states are a few things to consider to keep yourself mindful and inspired. The first one is get clear about what makes you fulfilled. I believe we talked about that in Soul versus Ego, but figure out what makes you happy. It may not be stuff you're going to stick with. It may change. That's okay too. Only thing in life that's constant is change. And growth makes you change in so many ways. And then sometimes in ways that some of the shit that you grow to, some of the traits that you pick up or desire to pick up are traits of people that you hate, or you think you hate, or can't understand why they move a certain way, but it works for you. So get clear about those things. The author went ahead and said, many of us have no idea what actually makes us, what actually fuels us, and go through life as if we don't have the choices that we actually have. You can't balance your priorities if you don't know what they are. You can't. How can you be called to do something that you don't even know you have an interest in? Now, that might be, that word there, right? Yeah. You really can't, some stuff you know what I hate sometimes? You're eating a plate of food. This is the best example I can give, because everyone has had this moment. You're eating a plate of food. You work so hard to afford this food. You work so hard to be out to have this meal. You work so hard making this meal in the kitchen. You put your heart and soul into either finance, something. You desire this plate of food. Either with family, friends, you're out, you're something. I'm not going to I was about to use my tea as an example, but what I will use as an example is you got this plate. This plate looks so motherfucking good. And you're taking that first bite. Food hasn't even hit it's right here. It's right here. You open your mouth. You open your mouth. Ooh. You like okra? Throw the whole person away. Throw the whole person away. Throw the whole person away. Because first of all, have you even tried okra? I love okra. That's the only thing I can think of because I've had so many people do that to me when I talk about okra, but or I'm eating fucking okra. Oh, okra. And then you ask them how they tried it. Never tried it. They just know they don't like okra. Get clear on the okra that you like and the okra that makes you happy. Figure that shit out before you are spewing the negative out or into yourself, that the negative assumptions that this is not going to work out, it's not for me. That's for y'all favorite one. That's white people shit. Excuse me. That's white people shit. Grow up, please, and grow up and just admit that you never tried that before. You don't even know if it's something that you'll like. You just never tried that before. Figure it out. Again, I'm not going to go too much in depth over these because I'll have the article in there, but yeah. And what I also thought was interesting about this, the author stated like how limited time is and how precious it is for a lot of us, and that we spend about 72 hours a week connected to work. After eating and sleeping, we have about 40 hours left each week to spend on everything else. Whatever everything else for you is, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I spend more than 40 hours being a mother. So, and that's outside of work and everything else. So yeah, whatever that is, I thought that was interesting. That apparently most normal people, childless people, probably people with low average amount of hobbies, have about 40 hours left in each week to spend on whatever else they want to do. The author had a book titled Overwhelm, where they consulted a sociologist who studies time use to understand where her time was going. So she's the one that came up with about having 40 hours left in a week. Turns out our so-called leisure time is often in scraps of 5 to 10 minute intervals. And a lot of times, y'all know what we're doing, scrolling and tuned in into other people's life. Tune out of other people's life and tune into you. Next on the docket, being intentional about trying new things. Hear me out. If we were more intentional about the shit that we want and not the person we want, the man we want, the girlfriend we want, the husband, because in case you're married or whatever, the husband, the wife we want, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Now that you have an idea of a few things that you might want, how are you going to be intentional on making sure that you have the time set aside to do this? And remember those little things we talked about, boundaries? Boundaries are not just for other people, they are for ourselves. Boundaries are not for people on the outside, they are also for ourselves. That's how I would say you would be intentional about that, or that's the first step, because if you set up boundaries, and you can set up the boundaries with yourself, and if it's other people around you, you have to negotiate time or work out time with that or whatever. Structure shit, or try to get it structured to your needs as best as you possibly can, because that's going to be you being intentional about trying new shit that you want, or getting you to where you can have the freedom, if that's the case you feel like you don't have it, getting you to a safe spot, or at least a safe space in your mind that you want to try new things. So in our brains, happiness and learning are closely tied together. Positive or happy experiences activate the learning process, builds memories. Remember those neurons? Yeah, that's that. The ideal state of learning is called flow. When you lose yourself entirely in an activity. Flow happens when you're so engaged in what you're doing that you lose track of time. What are those things for you? Now, if you figure out those things, because I don't know, flow is like, I'm in a flow, I'm working on my flow, I'm focused hard. That's what I'm thinking of. And flow, well, like, what comes to mind? Now, that kind of trips me up just simply because, again, getting stuck in a flow, like the fact that flow in some, I'm gonna have to look into that at another time, because flow meaning learning or possibly meaning learning, it's kind of like giving me a little brain fart right now, just simply because I've never heard of that. But besides that, getting stuck in a flow sometimes can get you stuck to not like get you in a pattern of never trying new shit, because you're just staying in your zone. And again, for some people that works, but for most of us it's just not healthy. And clearly, again, why are we talking about this? Because there are healthy benefits to trying new shit. So number 3 on the list, lose the need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. I was about to bust out in Hannah Montana on y'all, but I had to stop myself. When we try anything new, we learn the most when we go into it with a beginner's mind. High performers like to perform in every aspect of their lives. Guilty, and it does hold you back from trying new shit. And I can separate the two from like holding me back from trying new shit and just like the discernment of this is not right for me. Reach that place too. I feel like that. I don't know if those things, maybe that is a part of that, but at least have the discernment to realize like some stuff do need to be a little tailored and perfect, just a little bit, not everything, no. So but we're back to the article. But when we're in the realm of personal development, we often need to learn for the sake of learning, not winning. We get new insights into ourselves when we handle a fresh challenge, and that creates ripple effects in other areas of our lives. There is a somebody didn't do something there. Anyways, as a personal example, I don't care about the personal example. Lose the need to be perfect. Lose it. And it is so hard. Trust me, it's so hard. But again, have that discernment. Figure out the things that just really are not right for you, and then just the areas where they can be a little less perfect, or they gotta be perfect, because there's no way around it, and your whole entire world will just crumble if it's not a little perfect. Number 4, variety is the spice of longer life. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to live until I'm 107. And I'm gonna tell you now, maybe I'm not gonna tell you because I don't even know what age that would be where I could bump that number up, but I really do want to live until I'm 107. People live into their hundreds happily, functioning, moving. I don't want to be driving a car, please. I don't want to be on the road. I don't want to be, I'm so passionate about this, but I want to live happily, healthy, actively, because it's possible. It's very possible. It's not impossible. I wish y'all would stop doing that and stop calling yourselves old at 30 years old, because honestly, even 40 is not even old. It's not. So stop that shit. 30 ain't even a middle age. Stop that. Stop. I hate that conversation. But yeah, variety is the spice of a longer life. As we get older, it is more important to find things to do that light up our lives. We are on the search for soulful living. We're on the search for soulful living. It's not something that's just going to be found after one trip, one guru, 3 shamans, 2 ayahuasca trips, maybe 1. Moving to Bali, moving to wherever, moving back to the States to rekindle my life as an American. It's not about none of that, okay? It's not. Our minds are essential to this effort and thrive when we are finding new things for them to do, whether it's acquiring a new skill or language, which they list is very high on the list for mental benefits, joining a new group and meeting new people, or finding ways to continue using existing skills. Successful aging and longevity are built upon patterns of lifelong learning. Anyone can overwork themselves for a while, but if you've been there, you know that eventually you hit a wall. It's all a matter of energy, getting it, using it, and regenerating it. We all have the choices we don't take. When we can stop, reflect, and make intentional choices, that keeps us energized, inspired, and fulfilled. Variety, a spice. So that's where it's like, I was surprised that, again, in certain ways, flow means learning, because to me, a flow, like if I get in a flow of painting or something, I'm not trying to move from doing that. Like, that's probably just what I want to do for the day. I don't want to do anything else. Simply simple as that. So have variety. Of course, before you figure out your variety, you need to figure out what it is or what a couple of things are. And honestly, I suggest, like, walking into this, whatever you've been waiting on a dude to take you on a date to do, go on a date by yourself and go do that. Sometimes you like that. No, sometimes you might just find out. Instead of you finding out because someone else took you and then being impressed and then giving a little coochie up because it made you feel good, and those, that little ripple effect or the domino effect. Before you go do that, and before you get a coochie up, figure out what are a variety of things that you have either wanted to try, thought about trying, wish you could try. Figure out what they are. Google it, because I promise you it's in your area, it's in your city, it's in your state, or a neighboring area. And get to it. Write that shit down on the list. Don't wait until you die to make a bucket list, because you never know when you're going to die. Life's a bitch, and then sorry, you never know. So, figure it out. Oh, some of y'all might not even know the reference to that. But if you do, you know. But like, figure out what those things are. Make a list. You can put dates to it, timestamps when you want to do it. It might not be 2024. Be realistic. I know, like, we see the little Instagram influencers and shit, and we see them, we're like, oh, I want to go there. Do exactly that. But be more interesting than the influencers, okay? Be your own influencer. Influence yourself to do something new. It could be challenging. It could be easy. There are so many things. There are literally so many things. And if y'all want a video on other options of things that you could do that don't involve you getting drunk or high, and let me just tell you, as a retiree of the 420 gang, not really a retiree, but I'm low-key now. As someone, you just gotta find other shit to do. And if y'all want a list or a video about that, I can do that. Because there are so many things. And of course, there's like, join a new group. If you're into, like, there's always like crocheting, so like crafty arts and crafts and all of those things, but go deeper than that. Also, another thing, I don't know, I don't want to fearmonger or anything, but look into the things that you literally have no clue about. Mushroom foraging. You might not even like mushrooms, but The world, the end of the world is near, and or the apocalypse happens, and you're out in the field and you don't know what to get. You want to know, you need to know what you can eat and what you can't eat, because you need to know what you can eat in a survival type situation. You need to know that oak leaf you can eat in a survival type situation, that oak bark you can eat in a survival type situation. Now, is any of that true? I'm not really sure. So before you go eat in the forest, go get the book, go take the class. Music. Hey, maybe you want to be a bass player like me. The band is not ready yet, but you can make your own band. Whatever you want to do, you don't need someone to do it with you either. Don't wait on no one to do it with you either. Matter of fact, what I really wish I would have touched on, but I'm running out of time. What I really wished I would have touched on is not waiting for anyone, but I will briefly touch on it in Queen, because Queen is all about healing it, doing it, being it, seeing it, all the positive shit. All of it. All the positive shit. Do not wait on anyone, because a lot of times you invite people in to do stuff with you. And again, this is someone, I don't want to say we're healed, or they're not on the same path as you. They're not as open as you. They're not mentally as open as you, visually as open as you. Don't invite them on this fucking, excuse the language. They are not invited, okay? Listen to me. They are not, you can't come, okay? This is strictly for you. These things are for you, because this journey is for you. So don't invite nobody else, and don't wait for them, because sometimes, yeah, it goes just fine. And then other times it's just like they're complaining, or they're just not vibing and thriving in this abyss that you are in. Okay? They ain't there. They're not in that world. They just can't even see it, visualize it, want it for themselves, anything. So no, they can't fucking go. No, they can't. No, they can't. Your mama, daddy, granny, cousin, best friend from first grade at the first school, the first grade teacher you had, but then you switched second semester because y'all moved up the street in a school district. No, they cannot come. They can't come, okay? I'm not playing with you. They can't come. You will thank me later. Seriously, you would thank me later. You will thank me over and over again, because again, these things and this journey is for you. Nobody else. These things in this journey are for you. No one is walking. People are walking this earth with us, but no one is walking it with the same eyes as you. So, no, they can't go. And we're going to end this episode off on that note. Man, I'm still learning my freaking soundboard, so just know it's on the way. I'm still learning it, but I just want to, because I think this episode is going to be just at the right amount of time that I need it to be, and I'm just so happy that I did it that way. As usual, I hate to see you leave, and I don't want you to leave, but you gotta go, because I gotta go. But you can catch us here, or me here, next week on the Soul and Grace podcast. Y'all, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't share with losers, though. They're not allowed. Let me go ahead and go. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you next week. This is Danielle with the Soul and Grace podcast.